Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is a view you never had before. This is my shelf of shame, my TBR shelf. And with that, welcome to the BE UNREAD challenge, where I want to read through my TBR and want to reduce it, so making the to be read books to be unread. And for this week my challenge is to finish my whole 2023 TBR, because I have 2 books left on this. I can show you the list that I have for my TBR, because yes, I wrote it all down. Let me see. It is a long list. Yeah, it begins here, 2023. These are all red. Also, all red. Green is I on hold this book unread because I don't want to continue the series, or I didn't like it anymore, things like that. Almost all red, 1 book left. Purple is DNF, and the last page. Also 1 book left, and 2 greens, and the rest is red. And the 2 books left are first The Poppy War, and second Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. These are the 2 books I want to read this week. Both really chunky. We have The Poppy War with 670 pages, and Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow with 560 pages. So a lot to read this week, but it will be feeling really good if I finish both of these books this week. So let's start reading. Let's talk about The Poppy War. This is not the update that I wanted to give you, but here we are. I'm almost all the way through the book, and I am now DNFing the book. Yes, I wanted to give you an update earlier, and we talk about the things I wanted to update you on, but we are at the point 100 pages left and I'm DNFing it. We talk about that later, but first things first, this book is parted in 3 parts, and the first part was the part that I liked the most. Not loved, but liked the most. It ended almost at the halfway point of the book, I think. And it was the part where we are introduced to the characters and to our female main character Rin, and the part where she gets her education and learn all the things she needed for all the things that are coming. She makes a test to be accepted to a special college where she doesn't have to pay for her education because she has no money. She is an orphan, and this is her only way of getting out of her situation, where she has to marry a way older guy, and she doesn't want to do it, so she does everything and learn whole days and nights for 2 years to have success in these tests. And yeah, she get to the college and learn there everything about war, because this is all about war colleges, war education, war history. We have a lot of info dropping in the first 200 pages about war history, politics, legends that they have, and these things are all important, but a little bit too much at some points. And Rin is a character that is very, very stubborn, sometimes to a point where I just shook my head because it was really unnerving. Is that the right word? I don't know. Her teacher forbids her some things to do, and she says, yeah, I want to do it anyways, and then he explains why she can't do it and why it is dangerous for her, and she had the opinion, yeah, I want to do it anyways. Things like that, and I didn't like that, but I can live with it. That was the first part, and the second part is the part where we are already in war, in my opinion very early in the whole story, because this is a trilogy, not just this one book. So first half of the book is prequel, and then we are already in war and have to fight after fight against the enemy, and there are a lot of discussions inside of our army, which I really didn't like, because guys, if we have a bigger enemy, we should work together and not argue time after time about the same things just so that you are right. That's the part I didn't like, and we are in part 3 then at a point where we have so much detailed description about violence, rape and slaughter, and you totally can read between the lines that the enemy took pleasure in these things, and that's the point where I physically got sick of the descriptions and I couldn't deal with it. It was too much for me. I know that these things are real, and that's the saddest part about that these things really happen that are described in here, but I can't deal with it. It is too much for me. Too much detailed description of violence and slaughter and rape, and that's the point where I now DNF the book. I will not read book 2 and 3. And yeah, that was the Poppy War for me. Not what I expected of the book. I really thought that I would like it very much, but it is totally not for me, and I hope the next book, tomorrow will be better. We will see. picked up the last book of this video and the last book of my 2023 TBR. It is Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, and I'm so sorry in advance because I already finished the book last week. It is now Monday and I read over half of the book at the weekend where I wasn't able to film. My best friend visited over the weekend and she said I could film if I wanted to, but I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I didn't film. I didn't set myself in front of the camera, and yeah, you get now the update for the whole book. I hope you're okay with it. If not, I'm sorry. You have to deal with it. I'm giving this 3 stars because I couldn't quite connect with the story. It's definitely literary fiction and slice of life of Sadie and Sam, our main characters. I had some difficulties in the beginning to get into the story because in the first chapter alone we have a lot of 90s references that feel a little bit forced, and the dialogue between Sadie and Sam didn't feel very natural to me, but after that it gets better and I enjoyed reading the book. We start at the point where Sadie and Sam are both children. Sadie's sister lies in the hospital because she has cancer, and Sam is in the hospital because he had a bad car accident where he destroyed his foot, and they find each other in a room in the hospital where Sam plays video games and Sadie joins in. That's the start of the friendship between the two characters. They get best friends over the next year, where Sadie visits Sam more than once a week. But after this year they both had a big argument and Sam ends the friendship, and they both see each other years later when they both go to college and connect to each other again. And we have obviously the theme of video games because Sam really likes to play video games and Sadie studies developing video games. So Sam has the idea that they can develop video games together and start an own company with his best friend Marks. So they founded a company and developed their first video game, and we have a lot of details in that through the whole process of developing, programming, planning, managing the whole thing, which I found really cool. That was the part that I really liked, but it was sometimes a little bit difficult to follow the story because we have a lot of back and forth between different timelines. We have the present timeline where they have their company and develop video games and their friendship to each other. We have the past of the characters where we found out more about Sam, his car accident, his life with his mother and later his grandparents. And we found out more about Sadie and the relationship to her sister Alice. And we have also a few scenes of foreshadowing in the future of the characters. which I think weren't quite necessary for the story, and also I think a lot of the plot points weren't quite necessary for the story. For example, the sexual relationship between Sadie and Duff. I don't think we needed this for the story, or the whole thing with the secret highways in LA. I don't think we needed this for the story, and all in all, I missed a real reason for this book, a plot that ends with the book, because I have the feeling that the ending is very open and we can live through the cycle of friendship again and again, and we could be at the same point we ended here 10 years or 20 years later. That's a little bit distracting for me, because I don't get the whole point of the book. Yeah, I like the story, that is something different. Also, I think this book wanted to discuss too much different themes and things that were important at some times, like gay marriage, queerness in itself, abortion, it would have been better if the author cut a few things out of the story and would have concentrated more on the main theme of the book. But all in all, it was okay. I liked it. I don't hype it. I expected a 5-star book, but I got a 3-star book, which is okay. A little bit disappointing. This whole vlog this week is disappointing because 5-star expectation, 3-star book for me. And the Poppy War, also expectation was 4 or 5 stars, and I DNF'd it 100 pages before the book ends. So yeah, I finished my 2023 TBR. I've read all of the books. I messed up the last clip that you saw, where I marked off the book here on my TBR list, because I didn't film. I thought I filmed the clip where I marked it off, but I made a picture. Yeah. So all in all, not very successful in reading, but successful in reducing my TBR and finish 2023 TBR. And if you have read one of the books or both of them, tell me in the comments if you liked it and what did you like about these books or what you didn't like. And I would be really happy if you like the video, if you want to subscribe to my channel. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye!